I'm currently building a human to burn for a play thing that we're doing. So what I do there is I use green wood and use a big thing in the back to replicate a spine, and then kind of replicate a pelvis with some more green trees. Like I go and find some green trees, and then I do like a single larger bone in the top for the humerus, and then the two smaller bones in the forearm, and then femur, and the same thing on the bottom. And then I drill holes and wire them with mechanics wire, just 18 gauge mechanics wire from Home Depot. There's a spool here, 18 gauge. And then we did, the person that is playing the individual that has to be burned. We did a impression of his face. So what I do is I have a skull, an anatomical skull, that I cook a batch of ballistics gel. And then I set this in a large bowl with some rice in it to hold the form, like support it underneath. And then I put a plastic bag over top of it so the ballistics gel doesn't pour into the rice. You set that down into the big bowl, and then you support the skull, like usually when I put like a piece of wood into the, what is that called, the Maximus foramen or something. Anyway, that goes into the head like that, and you hold it so it's just kind of hovering off the surface of the impression using the attached neck thing. Pour the ballistics gel in there, let it cure, and then you got a replication of the face, and then I hand that off to a makeup person. The makeup person makes him look like the actor. But yeah, anyway, I found this tape, auto body tape, that's actually skin colored. It's actually pretty good. I used it for taping up the Volvo when I painted it. And then I'm trying a little bit of spray foam in some of the voids. I used some cotton rags in some of the areas, but anyway. Figured I'd record a short on what I'm doing here with this ballistics gel skull and head. It's there. So I've got the impression of the face here, garbage bag, and then I used wheat in a large stainless steel bowl, and I filled up the voids with the wheat all the way around to support the side of the impression so that it didn't splay out too much. Then I've got the neck piece that I put into here with a plate of plywood, a screw through the top, and then I put 2 screws through the frame and into that piece of plywood that fits in the base of the skull. And that kind of holds things steady in there. So when I place this in the body, I'm going to drill a hole that'll fit this and just slide it right in. Maybe use a bit of mechanics wire just to hold it. But to hold this from touching the impression, I drilled another hole through here into the back of the skull, put a screw in it to hold it, and then I propped it up with that, and I threw some brad nails in there just to prop it up. So when I pour this up, the ballistics gel or the skull won't be touching anything in the skull won't be touching the impression at all. I've used clay before, like just some clay on the skull to kind of prop it up, but the clay doesn't react the same way as the ballistics gel to the thing. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing there. I'm gonna pour up 3 liters of gel, which is gonna require like 2,700 mils of water. And then I need like 38 of these 15 mil packets of Knox gelatin. And basically I throw the water in the pot, I get it warm but not boiling, and just keep adding those and mixing them until they're all mixed in. And then pour it into there and throw it in the fridge. You could let it self-cure at room temperature too, I suppose, but anyway, that's the gist. I'll maybe record another bit after it comes out of the fridge, but yeah, that's how I pour up the ballistics gel skull based on an impression of an individual who yeah, we have to burn in a play. So that's how it happens. Okay, so I've got the stuff all mixed up. You see, low heat. If you boil it, it'll get really bubbly and foamy. So I basically just dumped the 38 packets into 2,700 mils of water, put it on low heat, and stirred it until the whisk was dissolved of all the stuff. If you stirred it while you put the packets in, it'd probably be better, but anyway, I'm gonna get this dumped into that impression now. 3 liters should be plenty. Okay, so I got this poured up for, put the 3 liters in there. You probably could have done a little bit more, but basically I poured it in and then I just kind of tightened up the back around the edge so that it's not overspilling onto the edge. But as long as it gets more than half the face covered, it should be good. So I'm gonna go put this in the fridge, or make room in the fridge, and then let it set up. There we go, in the fridge. Let it set up. So there is the final ballistics gel mask, painted with wig on, got the costume. It's all dressed up, ready for his big audition. But yeah, that's kind of how we do the dummy. When we hang him from the stake, we just wire him up, wire the neck up back there to there. The V cut on the stake goes up in there, and then his arms go on the other side of that pole, so keep him from swinging out. But anyway, that's what we do. Arms are wired up to there.